All right, chosen ones. I came across a really beautiful quote the other day that I felt inspired to share with you all. Because as you know, on this channel, we are moving through isolation, through wilderness, we're stepping into our life purpose. And it's important to remember that as you evolve, not everyone from your past or even present will evolve with you. If you clicked on this video, you're at the right place at the right time. My name is Samara, and you are locked and loaded for another installment of spiritual awakening insights and prophetic downloads here at Healed Woman. You know, we are always changing, shifting paradigms, moving with the new, and I thought I would bring you all along on my journey. As I evolve, you all can evolve as well. So I wanted to share this quote today and give you some of my thoughts about your spiritual growth and evolution path that will separate you from people that you would have gelled with a long time ago, people that you thought were your ride or die, people that you thought would always be in your life. When you are pulled into a spiritual path and when you are led to your spiritual awakening, you realize that you're not going to resonate with the same people, places, ideas, thoughts, actions, habits, mentalities, versions of yourself as you did a few mere weeks, months, or years ago. Okay, so let's get into this quote, and then we're going to talk about what it means to me and how it can be relevant to your journey as well. So, quote unquote, it's important to realize that when a cycle in your life completes, the energetic resonance that once connected you to certain people dissolves, okay? You don't stop running into them by accident. You're no longer a vibrational match, and that's intentional. Relationships form to facilitate growth, to act as mirrors, lessons, or support a specific phase, okay? So once the lesson integrates, the energetic contract dissolves immediately, okay? Typically, there is no conflict. There's really no long, drawn out process when it comes to energetic contracts dissolving. The contract simply ends, okay? And there's really no closure needed. Honestly, if you are in the observer state, okay, which we talk about all the time, then you realize you can even pick up on the signs that the energetic contract is coming to an end, and there's really no need for you to get closure, have a conversation about ending the relationship, have a conversation about where this relationship is going. Like, you just feel it, and that's not part of the quote. That's me talking. Back to the quote. Typically, there's no conflict and no closure needed. Okay, sometimes it's just silence and a sense of completion. Paths stop crossing because you shifted internally. Okay, the version of you that related to them no longer exists. Remember that the distance is not lost, it's completion, okay? And the quote ends with congratulations, all right? So there's a lot to unpack there, and that's the word I wanted to use. I want to unpack this quote because I think it was really powerful and very poignant, especially at this time where a lot of chosen ones are leaving isolation. Let me know in the comments down below if that's you, if you were able to identify what stage you were in based on our last video about the 3 stages that will occur once you leave the wilderness and stepping into your life purpose. If you are leaving isolation, if you're in any of the stages that we mentioned, shameless plug, check out the video listed in one of these corners, okay? Then you'd be able to identify when people are leaving your life, falling away from your path. This is something that happened to you when you walked into isolation, or when you were rather pulled away from your previous life, okay? These were things that happened organically. You may not have understood it, but you went with it. You surrendered to it eventually, and you realized the benefit of it because it was actually leading you closer to your core energy, closer to yourself, to your higher self, okay? So when we speak about energetic contracts, these are things that, well, these are contracts that your soul signed up for before you came to Earth, before you reincarnated here on Earth. And they were meant to play out at a specific point in time, okay? We know time is an illusion. We know that on Earth we have linear time, but there is really a divine alignment, and there's a predestined order in which things occur in your life. And you meeting someone at a specific time in your life is not a coincidence. It's actually destiny, it's fate. So you meeting that person at a specific point in your journey was meant to serve as the quote said, a part of your evolution, a mirror of who you are or who you'd like to be or who you used to be. Okay, mirrors are really powerful contracts to have with someone, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Actually, I feel the need to expand on that. And lessons, okay? People are in your life for a reason, season, or a lesson, never a loss, okay? That's one of my personal philosophies. Oh, we always win over here. Either we win or we learn, okay? In the kingdom, either you win or you learn. Never a loss, never a wasted time, wasted opportunity, none of that, okay? So let me know if that quote resonated with you. There are a couple things I wanted to pull out that I thought were really relevant for my viewers, for my subscribers, for new people stumbling across this channel. I think it's really important as you evolve in any journey in your life to realize that not everyone is meant to go with you. So when we speak of energetic contracts, once that contract is fulfilled, that person will cease to exist on your path. They existed at that moment when they were supposed to. They leveled you up, okay? They did serve a purpose on your evolution journey. They did serve a purpose in stripping away a part of you that that needed to be removed so that you could move into your next season. Or they showed you something that needed to be, integrated, okay? They also showed you something that needed to be integrated as part of your evolution, okay? Let me know if that makes sense. So let's talk about the mirror. When people come into your life as a mirror, think about what mirrors represent, okay? Mirrors show you what's really there, not what you want to see, okay? Think about the last time you looked into the mirror. The mirror is not gonna lie. The mirror does not lie. Photos and mirrors do not lie, okay? So when you look in the mirror, of course, you may be blind, okay? In our own eye, we may be blind to things that the mirror is showing us, but the mirror is showing us what's there. We may choose to overlook it. Our brain may filter past things that we don't want to see, like weight blindness. You could be blind to your weight. You could be blind to wrinkles, to your gray hair, to things that you see every single day, so that it kind of just becomes background noise if you think about it. But it's still there. The mirror is still showing it. And so we may not see the things that we don't want to see, or we may not see the things that are truly there, but the mirror is reflecting what is there. And so when a person comes into your life as an energetic mirror, when they come into your life to fulfill that soul contract as an energetic mirror, they are there to show you what you have overlooked, what you have become blind to in your own self, in your own soul, in your own purpose. They may reflect parts about yourself that you have not shone a light on in a really long time, so they come to reflect the darkness in you, okay? Or they come to bring awareness to the darkness in you, okay? They may come to bring awareness to an aspect of your personality that you've left, and it may not even be a negative aspect of your personality. They may just come and highlight a part of your personality that actually needs to be brought into the light, or that needs to be dusted off and highlighted more, okay? So there are a lot of different ways that a person can come in and mirror your energy, mirror something that you are actually trying to hide, bring something out, bring awareness, bring depth, bring intensity to something that you may not have otherwise been triggered to do so, if that makes sense. And that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing to have someone come into your life as a mirror, okay? And it is absolutely supposed to help you along on your journey of growth and development, because once you start to integrate that part of your personality, your ideology, your beliefs into this new evolved version of yourself, your purpose to grow, okay? You're gonna blossom, you're gonna grow, you're gonna evolve. And so energetic contracts can be positive, they can be lessons, I don't wanna say negative, but people can come into your life to expose your purpose, or to expose pain, or to expose your light, or to expose your shadows, or to trigger your shadows so that you can learn to integrate them. It's not a bad thing to have shadows. It's human to have shadows, but you may be sleeping on your own shadows and not fully integrating them and giving your life more depth, instead of constantly denying them and suppressing your shadows, hiding your shadows. On your evolution journey, you will be triggered to integrate them, okay? Especially if you're a light masculine or a light feminine and you don't really tap into your dark side. You need your dark side to give you balance, okay? You can't reside in light energy all the time, because you will be taken advantage of, you will be misunderstood, people will mistake your softness for weakness, people will think that you are naive or innocent, or that you're easy to take advantage of, gullible, easy to manipulate. And once you start to integrate some darkness, which is literally just boundaries, standards, expectations, limitations, personal space, which aren't bad things, but they're labeled as part of your dark side, your shadow side. When you start to really integrate anger and frustration and rage, feminine rage is really powerful. It's a really powerful shadow side, because it shows what ticks you off, what gets you passionate, what gets your blood going, okay? And so, or what gets your blood boiling rather. Those are important sides of you to integrate into your light masculinity or femininity so that you can have depth and intensity in your character, so that you can be a well-rounded soul and spirit, and so that you can have the most impact in your purpose, okay? So this is a lot of, new information for those who are here for the first time. If this is information that you have heard around the internet, I'm really glad that you're here hearing my perspective. And I think it's really important to bring awareness to the spiritual community that you are here to evolve. We are here to evolve as humans every single day, every single moment. You're a new being. You're energetically always evolving, shifting, improving, changing, becoming new. You're new now. And every moment you're new. And in every moment, you can decide to integrate the parts of you that are exposed through mirrors. I think that's what I was trying to say, okay? So I really love that part about people coming in as mirrors. I think it's really important to remember that mirrors are triggers. They're meant to be triggers of something that you may not otherwise have seen or known, but it's not a bad thing. It's always gonna push you into a higher, better version of yourself, okay? So let me know if there was another part of the quote that you all wanted me to cover. So we can go over that. For right now, I really like the part where you're no longer a vibrational match. Let's talk about that part. So you don't stop running into them by accident. So this is when your energetic contract begins to dissolve. The person has come into your life. They've completed their portion of the contract, and now it seems like there's a shift in the relationship. It seems like there's a shift in the energy. It seems like your communication is breaking down. That's good, Holy Spirit. So there's shifts happening. And I've done a video on this about when you're getting ready to step into a new timeline, into a new season, when you're getting ready to collapse a timeline, energy shifts, relationships shift, dynamics shift. Did I say energy? Just your entire vibrational frequency shifts, okay? And those are the signs that I was saying you would know when someone is getting ready to either enter or exit your life, when a relationship is getting ready to fluctuate or change, ebb and flow. And this person may not necessarily leave your life immediately, but you can feel that their relevance to your journey is shifting. And that's important to pick up on, because that may be an indicator that this was a temporary contract, that this was a short-term contract, if you think about it, that this lesson has been learned and now the relationship is poised to expire, okay? There's a lot going on when things begin to shift, when things begin to change subtly, noticeably, almost imperceptibly, but you just know. If you're tuned in, if you're in observer mode, you just know. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about was when you are no longer a vibrational match. Some people may start to freak out. Some people may start to become overwhelmed or sad or nostalgic or reminiscent about that contract if it was something that you enjoyed, if you enjoyed that person being in your energetic field. But when a contract is purposed to end, that's it. There's really no need for you to hold on to it. It may actually be detrimental for you to continue holding on to a contract that is purposed to end. And you would actually be stagnating yourself or keeping yourself back from growth if you continue to entertain relationships that no longer serve a purpose, okay? You would be holding yourself back from receiving another lesson or receiving another instruction or receiving another opportunity that would lead you into another area of your purpose or into another season of life or into another opportunity. By holding on to something that's no longer a vibrational match, you are telling the universe that you have all that you need and you're not ready to receive. You're kind of closing yourself off by holding on to what no longer serves you instead of surrendering and allowing your hands to be open to receive, okay? So when you step into observer mode in your life, okay, when you step into surrender, when you allow surrender, when you allow the Holy Spirit, when you allow the universe to guide, lead, direct you, instruct you, and get you to where you need to go, when you allow your higher self to come in and give you guidance, things will be removed so that you can receive, okay? Empty hands receive, grateful hands receive, abundant hands receive, okay? You're here to receive, to be led, to be guided, and that can only happen when you allow things that are falling away to fall away and open your hands to receive and embrace what is already on the way. Love the rhyming. Thank you, Holy Spirit, okay? So don't freak out, don't panic, don't try to hold on to what no longer serves you, what's already falling away, what's already a vibrational mismatch, okay? You are meant to attract things that are on your frequency. And once something falls away vibrationally, it's showing you that it's no longer on your frequency. Congratulations. That's why the quote ended with congratulations. You've leveled up, you've ascended, you've learned the lesson, you're ready to evolve, you're ready to step into a new era, season, lesson, opportunity, relationship, business opportunity, you know, your partnership. Like, you're really meant to step into something else, to receive something else, to pour into someone else, to be poured into by someone else. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave that message there. I think I've pretty much covered everything that I thought would have been relevant or maybe confusing to people as they understand this beautifully confusing, but beautifully, you know, purposeful journey about evolution. If there's one thing you're going to take away from this video, not everyone will evolve. I remember the OG Healed Woman videos when I said you have to drop the weight to be able to elevate. That applies here in different terms, okay? That applies here. That video applies here. In order to elevate, you must drop the weight. Not everyone can ascend with you, okay? Think about an elevator. They have weight capacities, and not everyone can elevate if they are overweight, okay? Not everyone can elevate if they are not within the weight capacity to elevate with you, which means you're gonna have to shed versions of yourself. You're gonna have to let go of people that no longer serve you, people that refuse to evolve and grow and improve at your frequency, so that you can make room. As people fall away, you're actually making room. So when you get to your final destination, you're surrounded by the people that are a vibrational match for you at that level, okay? So allow the shift, allow the changes, allow the contracts to come in, to ebb, flow, do what they're meant to do, and to dissolve, okay? It is proof that you are always evolving, always improving, always being led by your higher self. And I promise you, your higher self knows exactly where you're going, how to get you there, and who belongs on your level.